Good afternoon, guys. Welcome to another video. Just driving Orwin, as you can probably tell. I've not uploaded a video for a week or maybe 2 weeks, so apologies for that. I have actually got about 3 videos to upload. So as I say, I've just kept forgetting to upload them. Just driving home from work, so I'll just be quiet for a minute and let you hear the exhaust. This bit's particularly good. There's a big tall wall and the exhaust sounds amazing. For anybody who doesn't know, been out of work for the last 12 months. Obviously went on furlough when we went on the first lockdown March last year, and never went back. Never went back. So I just started in this new job 1st of April. Been there a couple of weeks. As I do this video, it's the 16th of April, so I've been there a couple of weeks. And shut my window a second so you can hear me better. So, but yeah, I'm back in the car trade. I'm not doing sales this time though. My official job title is Vehicle Inspector and Stock Manager. That's my official job title. So basically, when cars come into sight, it's my job to check them over, look for dents, scratches, damage to alloy wheels, damage to interior trim, cigarette burns, rips in fabric, you know, basically any damage whatsoever that comes in on a car when it comes into sight. It can either be a stock car that's been transferred in from another branch, or it could be a part exchange car that's come in. So my job is to check it off and then make sure that any jobs get done. And it's quite ironic really when you think that I drive Orwin, which is my gold Cavalier, which is covered in rust, covered in little dents. And there's me as a quality inspector making sure that cars are dent free, rust free, scratch free. So it's quite ironic that I drive a ratty car. I think it's quite hilarious, because I also check off the valets as well. So when the cars are valeted, it's my job to make sure that they're as good as they need to be. And again, you look at Orwin and he's not been valeted ever. Well, I've given him a bit of a wash and I've given him a bit of a hoover a couple of times, but because his rat look, I don't tend to bother all that much. So again, it's quite ironic. Nice little pop and bang and gurgle under the tunnel. So yeah, this is my little commute home. Again, for anybody who doesn't know, I used to work at a small family car dealership down in Lincoln, and I live at the north of Sheffield. I'm actually travelling home to my girlfriend's. She lives nearer the city centre of Sheffield, so that's where I'm on my way to now. But from my house to work was 50 miles, so I was doing 50 mile there and 50 mile back, so 100 miles a day. If the traffic was okay, I could do it in about, I could actually do it in an hour. You could actually do it in an hour. Even though we're 50 miles, you could do it in an hour because it was fast roads the whole way. You've got motorway, then you've got the A57, which is mostly a 60. Then you got the A1, then the A57 again. So it was mostly fast roads, and you could do it in an hour to an hour and 10. but when the traffic was bad, it could easily take 2 hours. It was just too much. I mean, like this journey now, I set off 10 minutes ago, and I should be at her house in about the next 5-10 minutes, depending on what the traffic's like. So, and in the morning from my girlfriend's house, it takes about 15 minutes, whereas obviously in the past I was doing more like an hour and 15, an hour and 20, hour and a half, and if there was any bad traffic or an accident, it could be nearly 2 hours. So it's yeah, it's so nice now not to have that massive commute. That's the reason why I'm using Orwin as my daily driver. Again, if you didn't know, I did have a diesel Jag. I had an X-Reg, not an X-Reg, an X-Type, an 07 plate X-Type, 2.2 diesel SE. And that were a fantastic car. I can't fault it at all. I would have another one tomorrow. But again, because I'm no longer doing the 50 miles there, 50 miles back commute. Oh, I'll go this way. I've got two different choices. I can go that way or I can go this way, but I'm going to go this way. Because I'm no longer doing the 100 miles a day, there's no point in me having a diesel. You know, these small short journeys do no good to diesels at all. It didn't have a DPF, so at least I didn't have that thing to worry about. I didn't have to worry about a DPF, so that's one good thing. But diesels don't like little short journeys, so I decided to sell it and just use Orwin as my daily driver. 2 litre petrol is not that fantastic on fuel. Probably would be if I didn't put my foot down all the time. But when the exhaust sounds this good when you put your foot down, you can't help it. So it's not the best on fuel, but when I'm only doing these short journeys now, it's alright. I don't mind. I'm actually looking at getting my Vectra GSI back on the road again. You might have seen the video of me starting it up from cold. The first time it'd been started in a while, and we're completely empty of fuel. It took a bit of time for the fuel to pump through. But that's a 2.5 V6. It's a Vectra B. It's a 2000 X-Reg, and I want to get that back on the road. So I've got that as a car I can use as a daily driver as well. Again, when I was working in a job previously and I didn't have far to travel, I was using that as one of my daily drivers. But it's not been on the road for about 3 years now, so I'm going to try and get that done and sorted and MOT'd. And then once that's done and sorted and MOT'd, I'll do some driving videos in that. Right, I'm just going to be quiet again because you're going to hear the exhaust up here. Would be better if I didn't have cars in front of me and traffic lights. Oh, funny story. I really wish I had it on video. I was driving up this particular bit of road the other day, and this exact bit of road I'm on now, there was a guy walking up. I'm saying walking, he was actually stumbling because he was obviously drunk. He'd got a can in his hand, either a can of lager or cider or something. I think it was a can of Carling. And he started chanting. Cavalier, Cavalier, what a car, Cavalier. And I just burst out laughing. And he's like, he's holding his can of Carling in the air. And I'm like going, great car, mate, Cavalier. And he shouted, Cavalier, Cavalier, what a car, Cavalier. So funny. So funny. That's one of the things I love about these old cars, you know. I had a guy, not yesterday, day before, pulled up at side of me on a dual carriageway. He was driving like a, you know, that orangey colour Qashqai, Nissan Qashqai in that orangey colour. And And he shouts across, he goes, "Oi mate, oh, I love your car, love your car." That's one of the things I just love about these old retro cars like this, you know. People love them. Some people don't get it, you know. Some people look at an old car and just think it's an old car, it's an old banger. But a lot of people do get it, and they appreciate the older cars, and they appreciate the fact that they're on the road, and they love them. It's like I go in car parks and people will be taking photos of my car when I get back. It happened a few months ago when I were in Asda, and I became friends with a guy. He's actually called Barry Scott, and yeah, as in Sillet Bang, not the same guy, but yeah, the same name, Barry Scott. I became friends with him on Facebook, and yeah, he came across to talk to me. He'd seen me drive in and he'd heard the sound of the engine, so he came across talking to me, and he says, "Do you mind if I take some pictures?" And I said, "No, not at all." So he took some pictures and he put them on one of the groups on Facebook that I'm on, and I says, "Oh yeah, I'll look out for them, I'll go on the group and I'll look for the pictures." So I went on, and I commented saying, "Oh yeah, it was good to meet you," and then we ended up becoming Facebook friends. So but it's things like that I love about these old cars, you know. You gain friends because of the car that you've got. I know you get that with a lot of cars anyway. It doesn't have to be an old car or a retro car. You can gain friends through car ownership no matter what car you've got. You know, there's owners clubs and things for a lot of cars, but I just find that you get a lot more attention in the older cars because, you know, the older generation remember them. I love how people come flying up this hill. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now, guys, and I shall I'll get this video uploaded. I'll get them other videos uploaded as well. Oh, that was my exhaust just hitting that speed bump. You've got to love speed bumps, haven't you? Right, I'll just pull in here and stop the video because I'm nearly at my girlfriend's. So until next time, signing off. Please like, browse, subscribe, notification bell, the usual bits and bobs, and I'll see you next time. See you guys, bye.